Hello, everyone. Welcome to Friday. Friday.
Yeah, happy
Happy
Friday.
Friday. Ready to get done with this week. And we're excited to be able to come to you all and help really with a lot of these different projects and kind of go over peyote and how to read a pattern. Because,
Yeah, so that was our project. If you got the box, if you haven't, spoiler alert.
spoiler, we're
We're
unpacking the
doing,
box too.
yeah, so you've got three different techniques, which is always fun if you get to do a whole bunch of different things. One of them is peyote, but reading a pattern. So that was challenging for me, I will say. I kept putting little X's on my
All your
on my
beads.
beads as I went along. Yeah. So we're going to show you a little
Kind
bit
of
about
efficient ways to do it
peyote.
and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if I get to it, I had to do a little fringe to embellish it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw this morning. I was on Facebook kind of responding to comments and putting links in, and somebody was like, I can't do this. Like right away, first comment was, I can't figure this out. The pattern is hard to read. So
if you notice,
I think it's Lynn, and Lynn's here. We're going to help you. Don't worry.
Yeah. Sorry, I have a hair.
Fuzzy,
fuzzy
on your face.
Ugh.
Fuzzy face.
Yeah, so if you noticed, which I'm sure you did, you have the instructions that were in the tin, and then we kind of last minute, I shouldn't be admitting this, but then we were like, oh, we should
have this
actually
written
have
out.
the written, yeah. So it took me a little bit to get those done, but then we threw those in too.
Yeah, so we already anticipated that you would be having issues because if you've never done peyote before or you've never done a peyote pattern, you may have done peyote and not realized it, but following a pattern is mind bending.
I actually think that the hardest thing about following a pattern is that the pattern is kind of small. If you had it big, you could like, oh, this bead, then this bead, like you could see it better and you could follow it because it's just
you need it like the size of your king size sheet.
You just need it. You need like a magnifying glass and it needs to be at least the size of the bubbles like on the SAT test so you can go in and fill it in like I did this one. Yeah.
So Anna and I are going to show you the pattern. We're also going to show you some graph paper. Oh, that doesn't come up as anything.
Oh.
Graph paper to show you how you can make your own and where to get that on the site. And we thought we would show you and showcase our best bead box a little bit. So we're going to show you, let's do the, well, these are already out here. We'll show the projects and then we'll show we're going to quickly show what is in the treasure box and then we're going to go in for it too. So,
okay. Show projects, quickly go to treasure. We're not going to do a design with the treasure box.
I'm going to do that on Tuesday.
Great. So we're going to focus on the peyote today. Yep. There we go.
Make our way longer. So I loved this box because Anna and I got to both play with things that we love, really. And then we got to do a challenge that we both worked on. And actually, Annabella made the pattern. So my daughter made the pattern and then we did it. And I know Kenzie loved this box as well. So
yeah,
this was a fun one.
I loved the embroidery, and I'm going to do more embroidery. So
good. Because I put that in an email coming up.
Good. I have one that I'm working on for April. So April's subscription box. Yes, April.
April will have embroidery again.
Yes. Unless something crazy happens.
Little heads up.
That's my plan.
Yeah. So this box here, we wanted to feature our new Athena cast. And we were hoping to get those medals up and ready to go with the holiday season. We're a little bit behind. Give us some patience. But they are up and slowly every day more and more getting pictures added to them. So this is that $9.95 and the 24 karat gold plated Zamek coming out of Greece, the Athena cast items. And I actually have a second version of this one that I showed in the video just to show you. There's different ways that you can do it. So you can have it that the pendants in the front, you can do the toggle in the front and really work on those chain links and kind of not pigeonhole yourself into that. And I like the clasp in the front because it's reversible. From your wire working skills, you need to put away all your tools and then you get to do some embroidery. And can I give you a little kudos, Anna? I'm going to even bring the camera in. I love that these two are different. I love that they're not the exact same. They're the similar phases of the moon.
Exactly. Yeah. We did earrings, of course, and you only have to do two, but I thought this was a really fun concept for a bracelet. You can do the whole, the
different phases.
Full moon, and then you can go, like the smaller on either side. So I thought it started with that concept, and then I thought, well, I'll just do two different ones for this
Yeah.
because it's a lot to do all
Yeah,
of them.
it is so fun. And I love that you picked up that same kind of star design as Bella used on the
Yeah, that
project,
was
and it
kind
all
of
go together.
just a
Got our
coincidence,
stars
but
and stars and
but
stars.
it works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then our project that we're going to be going over today is this peyote bookmark, which actually goes really well for a bracelet also. We made the length so that way you can easily put a clasp on and you don't have to go really much further into the pattern, but you can continue if you want to by the time you're done.
You should have enough gold beads to keep with this design. You're getting a full tube of black because when we were deciding how much to give you, Kenzie's like, because Kenzie's helping me with
Ordering and
Kenzie's coordinating and ordering everything, and she's like, well, they need like at least what 9 or 10. And I was like, just do full tube, because if you do full tube, then you have lots of opportunity to make it longer. You can add that fringe. You can just do so much more. You can add a little like
embellishment on the side.
yeah, be cute to do a little.
We can go over that too when we go over the thing. So these are the 3 projects in the bins. These are size 11s. And I love that, again, you're learning how to make 3 completely different techniques. So you have embroidery, wire working, and following a peyote pattern, which is why we did it. We knew it was going to be a little difficult, but we want you to learn and enhance your skills as you're working on this.
Yeah.
So this is our kit box. We're going to go over this. We're just going to quickly show the treasure box. And actually what I'm going to do is just show you guys a picture of it too.
Somebody had asked if they could get just this box. You can subscribe, and then if you really don't want to continue subscribing, you can cancel your subscription.
Yep. So right here. So right here I have.
You can purchase the box individually though. You have to subscribe.
Yeah. And then if you decide that you only want one, you can subscribe. So you see here that there's a monthly billing. You can go in, do the monthly billing, and then go in and cancel your subscription. Here's some other examples of some other boxes that we've done. And then here's everything that you're getting in the box this month. And right beside it here is the treasure box as well. So we're going to be showing all of these things. But if we go fast, just go right onto that subscription page and subscribe, and it'll show you all of the kits month or the month's kits. Yeah. And kind of what you can get. And then there's pictures from some of our contributors. I know, aren't they great?
I think that is so fun. Like I haven't looked at that much, but the other day I was looking at it. Like, this is really awesome. All the things that people did with these beads.
Yep.
And sometimes when you just see the bead in a little bag, you're like, okay, it's a cool bead. But when you see it with all the things, it's crazy how creative people are and
absolutely
like what you choose to put together, things that I would never think of, which look great. Yeah.
I mean, I love that when you throw me the materials where you're like, here's what you have to use. And I'm like, this is amazing. And then I say, but can I use? She's like, well, hold on. Let me see what else I can give you and grudge you and everything. And I love the combo of this. And you have extras of all of these too to make matching pair of earrings and more. All right, so we're going to quickly go over. We saw that picture.
And you have more of those tubes, right? Those
cylinders. Yep, that you can use as
that would look nice with the purple there.
Yep. All right. So I'm going to keep this right here above. So we're coming back to that peyote stitch. And then just going over a tiny bit real quickly. Ready? Throw them at me. Show me what you got in the kit.
There's a bunch in here. And because it was December last month, and we kind of beefed it up a little bit. I mean, I feel like we beefed it up a little bit. And then
these are cool. These are so fun.
Didn't want to like have a box following it that didn't have as much stuff, so we added.
He just kept putting things in.
I'm telling you.
Oh, there's post. Perfect. I have a design coming up.
Worse than a girl when it
comes to those beads.
Yeah.
All right, so we got some really fun cards that I love at the end of earrings. All right, keep throwing stuff at me.
I wanted to actually call this something like Frank Sinatra-esque, like nightclub. I don't know.
Yeah, and the colors from the boxes do complement each other. Somebody was saying that. This is pad post. I have a Bridgerton inspired pair of earrings that are coming up, so keep these pad posts for that. Can never have too many labradorite pebbles because they're my favorite gemstone. One of them.
Jet ladybug.
Jet ladybug. You got your ladies in waiting there to hang down from your cards.
Also, we had some gumdrop beads, which are really cool.
Yeah, they're a fun little hang down shape. A lot of things to hang down in this box.
Yeah. Okay. These.
Ooh, Druzy agate rounds. They even look great mixed together with your labradorite. And honestly, even hanging some of those briolets, then like one briolet from the center. We always say we're not designing, but we're like, like a wrap top box.
We actually did put. This is kind of a bad on me. We did put angel wings in December's box. We put the crystal, I think, and we put these in this month. So
We get a
you
lot of
just
wings.
angel winged
it out.
out. Yeah.
Angel wing it out. Ooh, that's a
Um,
lot of pretty jet glass.
Yeah.
Floating necklace with this. So
Mhm.
pretty. Floating necklace
And
would
there's
be
some
great
really
with
fun
this.
things in there. Like when you dump this out and look at it, it's really so much like there's a little flower cup. It's crazy. It's great for just so I don't know. It's
Keep
cool.
going.
Okay,
All right,
yeah.
keep going. Oh, full tube of really
earrings.
pretty seed beads.
We try to always put a full tube of seed beads in because
This
you
is
could
really pretty.
never not have.
I actually like this with these
Yeah.
too. It could give
This
you
is
another
nice
like,
for an
look.
illusion necklace, and maybe you
Ooh,
put
with
beads
this
in
one.
there. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
Mhm.
somebody do that and post a picture of them when you have them. So the angel wings, yes. So they work as bead caps. So Megan said, what are some examples or what are some ideas for the angel wings?
They call them angel wings, but honestly, if you put two side by side and put a smaller bead inside that nestles like a 6 millimeter, they'll just kind of cup it, and that would be really cool for an illusion necklace to do that.
Yeah, put them around these beads here
Yeah.
as you're
Put
going.
them
It
put
gives
them
them
on either
movement.
side of the gumdrops.
Oh yeah,
And
then
then
give
you've
a
got the
whole
gumdrop, yeah.
different
And
set of
and then
sets.
what you do is at the base of the gumdrop, do like a circle of seed beads, so it'll cover some of the gumdrop. It won't be as high, but you'll still have it sticking out. So
You can
there's
even
some cool
use the
stuff.
gumdrop at the bottom of the necklace that I just did with cascading pearls. I forget
Yeah.
what I called it. The gumdrop at the bottom would hang with those. So
Mhm.
it's really, really fun.
Yeah. We have a few strands of check
Oh,
glass.
huge challenge of checkouts. I like the dark and like
Mhm.
this right away. I just want to put
Dark
these
and
on.
blue, moody.
Yeah, I just want to put these on as stretchy bracelets.
Yeah.
Like
And
super
it goes
simple,
with,
nice.
I mean, you can't really go wrong with these blues and blacks because it'll go with a lot of things that you already have in your.
This is a lot. Keep going.
And it is a lot. I'm telling you, we beefed it up at the end, so now I
Ooh,
feel like
these are really pretty. Ooh, I like these. These are
Yeah.
like my jam here with this color.
these though you do have to be careful because they are like a cracked glass. They're
So
supposed
they're
to
cracked.
be.
Yeah.
Yes, but we had some casualties.
So you
We
know
did
that.
our best to make sure that nothing went out the door
These are
that
cool.
was broken, but
These are so pretty.
it's kind of the nature of the cracked glass that it can do that.
I love these. I think these
Yeah,
are so
they're really
pretty.
fun.
Just going in and putting like some just some wire right on the top and having them hang down.
Mhm.
Even just like single by itself. I think I just threw a needle at my chest. Single by itself from like your huggy earrings. These are
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah,
I like these
those are
kinds
really
of drops
fun.
a lot.
Here's some.
Ooh,
This is
deco
like an
ones.
amethyst, yeah, but
Yeah.
you would get one of a couple different
They're all jewel tones.
flavors. Yeah, their jewel tones are light, but they're all have that dichro that's going to be like a copper or silver. So like very nightclubby is what I was thinking with this.
Ooh, yeah. Somebody said like Brat
And-
Pack, like you're going
Yeah,
in.
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I even had
I got it.
written a whole like spiel about the nightclubs and Frank Sinatra and the mob and everything.
Ooh, I like this
There's actually a lot more in this
alabaster beads.
You will get one of a couple different colors of the carrier beads.
And the
Yeah.
carrier beads are really fun to decorate with your 11O seed beads. That blue color here with that silver would look great to wrap around there. We have a lot of projects actually, if you search on the YouTube channel with carrier beads. Lots and lots of projects.
Yeah. And some pie duos.
Perfect. You get a great amount of these. This is like the perfect amount to do a pair of earrings or a bracelet.
This is a huge treasure box.
This is like
Next
treasure.
month, it may not be quite as big simply because, you know, we need to feed ourselves around here. We can't go bankrupt in every box.
And you have a gunmetal hook.
Yes. We also gave you some thread.
Oh, nice. 20 meters of size 6. And what else you got?
And then gave you one of these.
Nice storage container, but you can never have too many of those.
And a couple of those. So this
fun.
actually ties in, this box ties in with the theme of the kit box. Because you've got these beautiful blues, these, jewel tones, and
Not good. All right, that was a
this
rush.
to me is like, these look like moons. So what I want to do is I want to bezel these and, I don't know, do some kind of
like a pendant?
Yeah, or like insert like a half, like cover it partially with peyote and like a moon shape or something.
Well, you could do that with the
Yeah.
hole. Line a line of seed beads through it
Yeah.
and pull it through once and twice,
Mhm.
and then do the peyote off to the left hand side. and
Yeah,
cover
yeah,
it
that's kind of what I was
blue.
thinking. Yeah, or bezel and do it off the. Yeah, but yeah.
It'd be a
So
pretty
we
pendant to
were
go
thinking
along with
very
yours.
moony, outer spacey with this. Yeah.
Okay, so just to confirm, this was a quick unpacking.
Very quick unpacking.
Very quick unpacking. Here, I'll show it again. Of your treasure box for this month. So you can see here's the picture of the treasure box.
So
if
if
you
our
go to
profits are
subscriptions.
down this month because we put too much in the box,
And you get
don't
even
blame
more
me.
than is in the picture. So the picture has like
a
what
little
you're
bit of
getting,
everything, yeah.
but like this one here, so much more glass is there
Right.
than what you're actually getting. This one has 3 carrier beads, so
I think
lots
you're
and
gonna
lots of
use the carrier beads,
stuff
yeah.
in your
This
actual
is
box.
a heavy one.
It's heavy. It is a.
I gotta talk
It's
to our
more than that
operations
12.
director.
It's more than the 12 ounces that they normally are. I think
Yeah.
it's a little bit up there.
Yeah. So disclaimer: next month there may not be quite as much because
That's a hefty one.
That was a big boy. That was a big boy.
So, and also to answer people's questions. So one of the things that we're really working on with the new site is getting the subscriptions moved over to the new site.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I know some people have been having issues going through and getting to their subscriptions. That should be finalized and ready to go, hopefully by the end of next week or the following week, where you'll be able to get into your account and do that on your own, switching it out. When we migrated sites, the subscriptions had to come second to the migration, and they are set to migrate on Wednesday of next week, and then you'll be able to access them through your account.
So if you're a new subscriber, correct me if I'm wrong, but
You're
if
there.
you're a new subscriber, you're
Disregard
good.
everything I just said.
This only applies to subscribers that have been subscribed for a month or two.
Yeah, and then people will be happy.
Okay.
Look, looks like that cat. It looks like the cat from Alice in Wonderland. There's the nose, there's the necklace. So we're working on getting to it, and it is going for this.
Now I can't take anything seriously.
The finished diameter of this piece, I had it exactly, and now I forget.
It's definitely small for a bracelet. It is. You'll have to extend it if you want to, but what I would also suggest, instead of just doing it straight, is maybe tapering it off into little triangles at the end and putting a button on there or whatever clasp you want to do.
So you can see it's just over an inch wide, and then width-wise, you're looking right about 5.5.
Yeah.
So our thought was, I had my book sitting here specifically because I wanted to put it in the book. Here we go. So our thought was, when you put things into a book, say you have it right here, something I was working on Twitch the other day, you put it into your book. Anna's going to show you also how you can additionally go in and put some fringe on it. But it's nice and small. You don't actually want it sticking out of your book too much because you don't want it to get snagged, but you can easily put ends on this too and make it a bracelet.
If you want to play around too, that's a little piece that was started.
Yeah. So what we thought we would go over is basically how to read a pattern, how to get started on your peyote stitch, and if you get lost, kind of how to count it and know where you are in your place, and then looking at the picture and the instructions that came along, showing you how, if you want to number at the top and at the bottom, how you know where you're starting. Because if you're starting on the outer edge here, those are going to be like even and odd rows as you're going forth and going back and forth.
Yeah.
So. All right. So
okay, where are we starting here?
So the very start that we will show you how to do this bookmark. We're going to get nice and close. Anna, you got your threaded needles?
Yeah, hand me some scissors. I gotta snip this up over here.
I was looking for a burner for you, but mystery. We got stuff everywhere.
Well, I got scissors. Here, let me get, okay. So how are we going to do this?
So the first thing to do is this. I'm going to pull up. Let me see if I can sign it.
I was at a disadvantage when I made the sample piece because I just had the diagram.
So did I.
Yeah.
And so to show you, if you just have the diagram, kind of what's going on when you just have the diagram, we'll start with there. So
get our beads.
Okay.
Let's do, I'm going to get this.
I'm trying to log in.
You want to just start,
here.
I'll put the black and gold out and we'll just kind of start making one.
Yep. So when you're looking at a pattern here, we're going to go over kind of the step-by-step ways to do this. In the pattern, it calls for you to put an extra gold bead in between your first row because that's going to be your rows kind of 1 and 2 or 0 and 1. You're starting out with a
Yeah.
0 and 1.
There's actually, I don't want to confuse people, but there's actually a couple different ways to start. The way that we outline, so in the instructions that give you the B, C, B, like the letters, the first row, the first offset row here that you have is just listed like that. It's B, 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 G, etc. Now, when you normally start a peyote stitch, you pick up rows 1 and 2 together, alternating. So if you see here, you would pick up black, 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 up and down. But for those of you who are new to peyote stitch, you can just pick up the first row, and in these little gaps here, you would pick up that extra seed bead.
Which I think we said purple.
Purple or gold or something. Yeah, whatever it was. Yeah. But then you're just going to take that off at the end.
So what I'm going to show you quickly too is what you have is the written pattern kind of is what you're going to get for this. So I'm going to share this here because I don't have the file accessible really quickly that I gave to Anna. But this is basically how you read a pattern. So a lot of patterns that you'll get in your purchase won't have anything other than, when you're looking, just this. We'll just have a picture, and what you're going to need to decide is what are your rows. So what I like to do is look where my first bead is starting. Where your first bead is starting is going to be whatever bead is on the exterior line. So what you can do is you can start to do this, and I would still do this when you have your pattern. I would mark this as 1 and then start marking every other. My pen is like dying already.
Right.
1, 3,
it's
5,
like a
7.
pattern.
Yep. So you're doing 1, 3, 5, 7. Then up here, you're going to do 2, 4, 6. So your odds are going to be at the bottom. Your evens are going to be at the top. But what we do
just like street numbers.
Yep, just like street numbers. So turn it to the side. Your item number 1 is going to be right along here. See line number 1.
Row 1, yeah.
And where the white is, in the pattern itself, we said, put a 15-0 or put one of the purples on. You'll take that off at the end. That's just that quick start peyote is how you do it, where you don't have to actually worry about what line is going on. So if you see here, line 1 is going to say right there, scroll up a little bit here, B, 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 G. That is your color code. So your B is your black bead, your G is your gold bead, your P is your purple, and your T is your turquoise. So when you're looking at your pattern here, you have your black beads, obviously your gold beads, and then when you get further down, you have your purple and you have your blue that go along here. So line number 1, when you're looking at it, you have that black, black, black. So that, I should screen share this, but you have that B, 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 G, B, 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 B. Each line is going to have a total of 10 beads that you're putting on. We're doing even count. Line 2, then, those numbers go separately. Like Anna said, she takes almost a pencil and can mark that off. Line 2 is going to be B, 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 B. Then line 3 starts with a G. So you're going always from the left
back
to the right. Yeah. And if you want to, you can do it this way. That's how I was sewing it. But we kind of turn the pattern. You have the ability, guess what? You can turn this however you want to. But the pattern, when you're looking at it, when you have that line 1, that's going to be line 1 from the bottom left up to the right corner. And you're zigzagging naturally back. So Anna, I'm going to read off to you the order that you're going to do. And let's stick a purple in between each. So I'm actually going to... I'll be your reader.
Okay.
Is that an easy way to say it?
I'll be your
puppet. We'll do turquoise. You be my puppet.
Okay.
We'll do turquoise as our first
puppet regime.
Our puppet regime.
Okay.
All right. So Anna is, do you have a stop bead on yet?
I don't, but I got one. I'm going to make that my first bead. So I'm starting with a B.
And what I'm going to do is I am going to be reading. And what I like to do is I like to take a ruler.
A little bedtime story.
I know. I like to take a ruler here and I cross it out with a pencil. So once I'm done the row, I take a pencil because then I can erase it. and I'll cross out row 1, and then I'll cross out row 2. What I did was blew this up gigantor on my computer
Right.
and did the B-A
Yeah.
paper with it. And then also, once
Somebody
you
also
get this,
mentioned that, scan it and then make it larger on your
Yep.
computer.
and then also there is the peyote cylinder. Actually, you know what we'll do? We will send everybody that's currently a subscriber, we'll email them out this file, and that way they can do that already.
Oh, sounds good.
So I'll have Marta send out an email with this file in it, and that way you guys can do that already.
Yeah.
Oh, Chris, I like that. You take a blank Post-it note. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Take a blank Post-it note, put it over as well. Great idea. We also have the plain paper when you really get into it that you can color your own. So, all right.
Okay. I have my stop bead.
You have your stop bead on?
Yes.
Can you take that off though? And can I give you one that's a different color? So that way we cannot confuse people. Let me give you a red.
Okay, Mom.
Okay. You want to be in the bottom right or left?
I'll be anywhere you want me to be.
Okay. You're good there.
Okay.
So we're starting at
Stop bead.
the very top here
Okay.
of our pattern. And looking at our pattern here,
Mm-hmm.
we are going to do, ready? One black.
Mhm.
And then I want you to
up
put
my
in turquoise.
alternate. Okay.
Correct. Another black.
Uh-huh.
Another black. Another gold. First gold.
Cool.
Black. Black. Black.
Hold on.
Yep.
I think
How many again? This is the fun of it.
I have 3 blacks, a gold, 2 blacks. So and the rest are
4
black.
more black.
Okay.
Yep. I'm going to bring the camera in even closer so people can see how you get from that to row 1 down.
So I have 3 blacks, 1 gold, and then 6 blacks.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Correct.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 1 more because
Yep.
you said there's 10. Should I pick up
A turquoise to
a turquoise
follow?
at the end? Yes, because it's even.
Yeah. So if you're at home and you have your black or you have white beads or other beads here, the pattern here has that little white space. We will eventually take that off by taking off the stop bead and kind of taking those beads off, or you can keep them because it adds a little of that turquoise to the end. Now we're going to reverse the thread and we're coming back into line 2. So we're going to be skipping the turquoise when you have it. So did you skip a turquoise? Somebody said you skipped a turquoise. Yeah, you did between the black and the gold.
Oh, man.
Ah, good catch. Who was that? Patty, good catch. Patty gets gold star for today. Good catch, Patty.
And it's closer to the beginning. I'm going to go back here.
There you go. Take that off.
Nothing like making a mistake on live television.
That's what my kids always call it, live television. I'm like, there's probably only 3 people actually watching this on a television because you're casting out.
I think about, for some reason, I always get this image in my head of Martha Stewart pulling a turkey out of the oven.
And now it's done.
Like, I basted
And
it,
now
I
it's done.
put it in,
That's it.
and
That's all
now
you do.
3 minutes later, it's out a golden turkey,
It's
like
out and
completely
done.
done.
Yeah.
The magic of TV. Okay, I'm going to make sure I'm good. I
Yep, you should have 10
3,
beads on.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need one more. Okay.
Yep, and then finish out with a turquoise.
Counting with Anna.
Counting with Anna.
One seed
One.
bead.
All right, I'm going to
Woo,
move
seed
these
beads.
up so you know,
Okay.
because I'm at the bottom of the camera.
There we
So,
go.
yep, you're going to
Okay.
be up there. All right. So Anna has row
Thanks.
0 and row 1. Row 0 is going to be the turquoise beads. Row 1 is her first set. Notice that the stop beads on the left-hand side here. We are going to now be going, we were going left to right. Now we're going to be going right to left.
Yeah.
So when we look at the pattern, whether or not you're looking at this pattern here, you are going with 2 and we're going to go backwards.
Okay.
So we're going to be skipping all the turquoise beads. And let me know when you're ready.
I'm good.
Okay. Black.
So I'm picking up a black
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going through the first black bead that I come to.
Yep.
And as I do that, the black bead that I just added should be sitting on top of my turquoise bead.
Yep. And now you're going to do another black bead.
I'm doing black the whole row, aren't I? Isn't
Yeah,
kind
the
of
whole row is
a
black.
okay. I was saying, I
So-
think we already went through this.
Yeah. So when you're going into this row, you're picking up a bead, skipping over the turquoise, which is row 0, and you are sewing through all of the black or gold beads that you added from the row before.
Yeah.
This is even count peyote. Even count peyote, you just turn a little bit up further if you can. Even count peyote, you are just turning as you're making it at the very, very end. And it creates, as you see there with Anna's, basically like a brick wall that the beads are sitting every other, with those turquoise beads sitting above the bead that you are currently adding. After the second row here, then it just becomes easy peasy to follow the pattern. And make sure you're commenting how you do this. So written patterns for complicated projects. Yeah, Dee said that. I liked Chris's example that she takes a post-it note and moves it down a little bit. I know a lot of you are weavers or knitters, and you have to keep track of your lines a lot. So there's stitch markers, all of that. So pop in your comments for it to see exactly kind of what it is. So
yeah, and one thing that I want to say about this is when you're starting, that's the hardest, because notice how my black bead that I just added wants to go to the other side. So I want to flip it. I can catch it on the way back and make sure it goes the right way. But having that different color seed bead like the turquoise is really helpful, because then you can clearly see which is like the right and wrong way for your beads to sit.
exactly.
Because I want all my new black beads all to one side. I don't want them going back and forth.
You want your turquoise beads basically all to the left or the top when you're looking at it.
Right, right. They should be the very first, the farthest out at the very edge of the project. So you can see I kind of got twisted here. So when I come back around, I'm going to twist this back and just make sure that I'm going all the right direction. So you want to read me my second row or my third row?
Yeah, and then somebody asked, they said they just ordered the treasure box. Does that ensure that you'll get this month? Yes.
Yep.
So if you order this month, you get this month in the box. So Anna is done. I'm going to go like this just over top of you for a second. Anna is done with row 1. So I would take personally a pencil, and I take that and I cross a pencil for it. Anna is done with row 2. I cross a pencil for it. Anna is up to row 3. So we have this picture that you can follow, and then you'll also have right here your line 3 right here that I'm highlighting that you are going to be doing. So keep in mind when you are doing row number 1, you're going from the left towards the right, row number 2 right to the left. Always
you're reading, but you're reading it
exactly how you should be putting them on.
Yes, yes. So when we say right and left, it's just when we're adding the beads, we're adding them this direction, and then
there you go.
I can't see it. Your beads will be added this direction, and then because the way that you're working here, you can, like if I'm holding it this way, I like to hold it so that my needle is always on the right, and then when I go to the other side, I'll flip it and my needle will be on the right again. So I don't want it to be too confusing, like right and left, left and right. You don't have to really worry about that.
It's the order you're putting on the beads.
You're just picking them up in exactly the order that they're listed. And the only reason why we're talking about right and left is because you will be working the pattern right to left and then left to right.
Yeah.
But you put them on the same.
Yeah. So it's written in the pattern that you're looking at, the order that you should be putting them on.
Yeah.
So I have highlighted here row number 3. And that is going to be, ready, a gold first.
Oh, gold.
So you get a gold bead on.
And then, now it's going to sit on top of the black because I'm going through the first bead that's sticking up above the other ones. And when you're first starting, it's super easy to tell because you're going to have alternating one bead and then 2 beads sitting on top of each other. So we don't want to add to the 2 beads that are sitting on top of each other because we need it to be even. So we're going to go through that first bead that's sticking up, and then that gold bead will sit on top of the bead that's all by itself.
Huh, how about that? And then it looks just like...
How about that?
Oh, just like that guy.
Yeah, look at that.
So you've got a bunch of blacks to put on.
Okay, and then I got a bunch of blacks.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blacks.
So it's kind of wonky right now because we're just starting. So I want to, as I work, it's really important at the very beginning to just take your time to get your first few rows set up correctly, because otherwise they're going to be, if you get that twist like I had and you don't correct it, you're going to be off. Your pattern's going to be off, and then you're going to be wondering, what did I do?
Yeah.
So I really like having that contrasting color, which I don't know that I've ever done this before actually, because I usually just pick up the first 2 rows together. But especially if you're a beginner and you have a pattern to follow, that just makes it extremely easy
To keep
so
track
you
what you're
know.
doing. Do
Yes,
a row
you,
0 basically.
you
Add a
keep it
row
all
0
to
to your
that
project with a different
side.
color.
Yes.
Yeah.
And pull tight as you go, because sometimes, because it gets really loose at the beginning, because you don't have a lot of beads holding the whole project together, holding everything tight.
Yeah.
There
So then
you
hold
go.
on, don't get too fast.
Oh,
Bead number 9 and 10 is a gold and then a black. I think you're there.
oh, good. I'm there. Okay.
Yeah. So gold bead, G.
I can't tell you
B.
how many times I undid rows. If you look closely at
Nope,
this,
nope.
you'll
nope.
find,
Let's
I
see if
don't
can
think I
find
made
it.
a mistake, but you'll find a lot of places where the thread is like bunched up because I tried to undo it and then I got a knot.
And then trying to figure it all out.
There's
Okay.
probably a piece of my hair woven in there.
Okay, I'm gonna look because
like,
here's mine. I'm gonna see if I can see any right away from where we.
so
No, we look good.
I,
Because Anna and I both started this bracelet, so we've got 2 pieces.
I'm pretty sure that I caught all my issues and corrected them, because even when I was tempted to say, "Oh, no one's gonna know," it's like, no, I can't do that.
Yeah. So if you want
if we're
to,
expecting our subscribers to do it, I have to do it too.
exactly. So when it comes to the peyote, like somebody was saying, I like the word chart. So the word chart, some people use, will have them exactly in the order that they need to go, but they don't sit. So what you can do is, if you want to, there'd be a lot of transference, but if you want to, you can. I know.
Are you going to suggest this?
I'm going to suggest that somebody else does it. I don't want to do it. But if you want to do it, let's see here. So this is row 0. So these are going to be your turquoise right there. T, T, T. Actually, that says 100. So here's row 1 right there. Row 1. So our row 1 was black, black, black. I think there was a gold in there. You can write those in, and then you know and can kind of look and cross out and snake it back. But like Anna and I said, it is written for the order that you pick it up, because I think it's way easier than trying to think backwards. Yeah. Thinking backwards to me is like terrible.
Why? Why even do that to yourself?
I know.
I don't understand the
point of that. But you'll see patterns like that where they have it. They have it backwards.
Because they're writing it out the way in which it sits visually, instead of the way that you're
picking up with a needle
that you're doing.
Correct.
Yeah.
So our pattern, when you look at it, is written for, again, just to clarify, the way that you're picking up. So Anna just finished row 4 or row 3. So now she's going to row number 4, which is a whole lot of blacks.
Okay.
So you're doing 8 blacks, 1 gold, 1 black.
Okay.
Yep.
And this is where it starts to get a
lot easier.
Yeah, a lot easier, because once you get those first couple rows done, you've got enough beads sitting next to each other and supporting each other that the shape kind of just stays.
Takes it.
Yeah.
And then that turquoise will stay to that one side when you're looking at it. And then we'll show, after this one, we'll show how to count the rows, so that if you sit it down and you forget to write what row you're working on, we can show you easily how you're going to go in and to look at what row you have completed. Now, I always say mark your patterns with a pencil so that you can go in and you can erase it when you're working on it, or you can have that as well too. So the, she puts it in Word, and then she highlights the ones that she's using. That's a great idea as well too, yeah. Shelly. Good idea.
It's a little loose because I'm doing this
live.
Yeah.
It's okay. I'll forgive you for your loose peyote. Anna's the loose woman today.
That's what I was thinking.
No, that was yesterday.
People only knew how far from the truth that was.
Gold and then a black.
Gold and then a black.
Yep. Okay. So Anna just finished.
Right
so like I have it here. That's what I think it was Shelly that was just saying. Like I have here, I'm highlighting the row that I'm working on the computer. So I'm highlighting the row that I'm working on. She just finished row 4. Now I'm going to take my highlighted section, maybe, off my row 4, and I'm going to highlight row number 5.
Yeah.
So how do you know what row you're on? Say Anna goes to the bathroom quick. and or needs a sip of drink or something.
Yeah.
You get up, the doorbell rings, and you're like, oh no, the mailman's here. How do you count exactly how many rows you have, and how do you know how many you've completed? So you know by the pattern here at the bottom that row number 1, where you started the bead, next to the stop bead, that black row is row number 1. You can count the odds then. 1, 3, 5, 7. What I do is I count up and back. So I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You count on a zigzag and you know exactly where you are. You can also take another needle if you want to and kind of mark your stitches as you go, almost like a stitch marker, or tie a little thread on or something that you know, hey, that's row 10, say fictitiously, row 20, row 30. You can keep track of it. But when you're looking at it here, if this is Anna's piece, I would count right here that I would say, there's row 1, here's row 3, the next one will be row 5. So I know I'm working on row 5.
You just want to make sure that you're starting to count with the bead that's all the way on the end, not the bead that's like opposite. On the at the opposite. Yeah, you got it.
So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 3. Then I know that I'm working on number 5. So you can either count on the last 2 lines and add them together. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I know I'm starting 5. Or you can just do counting that odds. 1, 3. Because remember, rows 2 and 4 start at the opposite end.
Yeah. So it's just like a brick building. Like that's the easiest way to think about it. So if you just go to your local bank and count the bricks on the side,
like staring at the ceiling.
I'm trying to learn peyote.
How do I do it? All right, so we're gonna pretend
in Mount Laurel, New Jersey.
So
I'm from Sparta, New Jersey.
Hello to the Jersey people.
Yeah.
All right. So if I'm the whole way here and I need to add thread, I sit it down. I was working on this at Sky Zone for like a long period of time. This is not quick, people, because you're reading a pattern.
Oh my gosh, it took me forever.
This took me forever.
Part of the way through, I was like, what did we do?
And Anna thought that she was supposed to do it, and I thought that I was supposed to do it.
We both got more done.
We both you took over. So I was like, can we just seam our sides together in the peyote stitch? And she's like, it won't work with the pattern. I'm like, God dang it.
Yeah, we both started at the same
side,
so,
which makes sense. But when you're counting this, again, if I say, I set this down, I'm like, oh no, I have no idea what row I'm on. I just start right there at that stop bead. And I say, okay, here is row number, actually my stop bead's up here.
Karen Guest. Is that really your last name, or are you just
that's Karen's last name.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So you're going 1, 2, 3, or wait, sorry, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. This is like counting on the odds. And then you get to the end and you're like, oh, okay, here's the row that I'm on, and now it's time to continue. The other little cheat is I counted and I looked here for which row I was on that had like tons of gold.
That's what I did. I visually looked.
And then I was like, okay, I can look at it here when you get the pattern and you say, all right, here I am. Yep. So I can look if I had these numbered along the bottom.
This actually upside, it goes like that.
Yeah. Thank you. But if I looked these on the,
don't
confuse. But I knew what row I was on here because I could look there and say, oh, there's 2 golds together. And if I numbered these at the bottom, 1, 3, 5, 7, I knew exactly where I needed to pick up. Yeah. Even if I didn't know the row number and I was just looking visually without having the chart.
That's what I did. I never went by numbers because that would have driven me insane.
You didn't go by rows. You just went like this up and down and worked with it. And when you get long like this, it's hard right now because we're on row 5 to see row 5 looking much further than anything else. But look, row 5 looks exactly like row 5 here because it matches up with our pattern.
Yes.
So lots of little helpful things working with it. So one of the questions that I'm sure somebody is going to ask is, then how do you do, if you want this to be don't want it to be a bookmark. Okay. I know we have stuff everywhere. If you don't want this to be a bookmark and you want it to be a bracelet, you can take those turquoise and just keep adding to the end in the turquoise color because you'll have extra of the turquoise with the purple, or you can just fill in the rest with black on both sides. And then clasp-wise, there's lots of options.
I think a button would be super cute with this.
So here's one way, and we'll kind of go over. I just have that handy. I have.
Yes, this is nice.
This
is quite nice.
Thank you. That's fun button.
I like the button. I know a lot of people are a fan of these. I'm not
That button's cool with
disparaging
it.
those. But I think that the button is just super fun because it's kind of casual. You can pick up a really cool color like this. And I also I like a little breathing room on my wrist. Like I don't want to feel like a chunky clasp or anything like real wide. So it's a personal preference of mine.
And then you can also do something where you have like multiples. So you can go there and there. You have two clasps.
Mhm.
You'll see that a lot. And what you generally are going to do is just sew in right to the last row of the peyote. The button you can sew up and onto the pattern, or you can sit it outside of, coming out from the middle.
I love adding the button on top and then having a loop.
Continuous.
Yes, and then the loop just
Kind of
brings the
sits over
both
top.
ends together.
Here, I can make this a little bit bigger so you can see that.
So it'll bring both ends together. You'll have your button here. You'll have a loop that comes off just enough to kind of cover and go over the button.
And when
so
people
then it'll bring it together.
And when people think about it and you're like, how do you attach the button? It's just like sewing onto fabric.
Oh,
Think about it as adding a
Just
button onto
attach
a
it.
shirt. You can come in and out of the peyote stitch wherever you want to. And
no
now,
one's gonna see it.
what happens if I get this box and I think, oh, this is so cool. I have my treasure box and maybe I should add, instead of doing a clasp, let me go in and add some fringe. Show us how you would add some fringe.
I'm all ready
You want me
for
to pull
that.
out some things from the treasure box?
Yeah.
You got some
So I
stuff.
went ahead and just started with my stop bead here. And my stop bead, I'm just picking up the last bead, the bead that's kind of hanging out on it by itself on the edge there. And I'm going through and then through again. And by now you should have some experience with stop beads, just in case you don't. That's how you do it.
Look at that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get
Oh,
some
that's
fancy
give me
beads
that
in 'em.
mix.
I'm gonna get the mix out to you.
Yeah, give me that mix.
I thought
So it's
some
gonna be
real,
a
that's good.
little
Come at the
chaotic,
bottom.
but yeah.
Because you'll have 9
I'm just-
spaces for fringe, basically, if you want to.
Yeah.
If you're
So what
going
I'm going to
between.
do is I'm going to pick up a few beads here. Well, let me pick up 5. And I'm just winging this, honestly. I don't really know what I'm doing. But I'm going to pick up 5. I'm going to pick up one of these gold beads. So that's a visual cue for me for where
You need to start that fringe.
I want to bring it back together. I'm making a little something. And then let me pick up another few beads. Give me a nice, I like this one.
I'm just piling you some beads that I think are pretty.
Okay, let me do this. Let me do a gold, a disc, one of these rounds here.
We got some rounds. Okay, you need some more rounds? Sure.
Yeah, well, I don't care if they match.
Okay.
I kind of want it to be
random.
Yeah. And so I'm just picking up one seed bead and going back through my beads to that point where I said I'm making that little, I'm putting that gold bead for a marker. So I'm going, ow, I stabbed myself. I'm going
Way to go, Anna.
through all the beads up to that gold bead. I went through the gold bead, but then that was just a visual cue for me, so I didn't have to count. And I know I have the 5 beads here, so I'm picking up another 5 black beads. And then I'm going to go through the next bead that's sticking out. So the next bead in that row. And you'll know because it's the one that's sticking out. So I like doing it this way. You can really kind of make the whatever kind of pattern you want. But I like having it start a little thicker and having that one bead as that visual cue so you know where to kind of taper it down. And then come back and branch off again.
I like that way that you did it. I think it's funny.
I'm going to go through.
That's
really funny.
That's really funny.
I don't know why you did it that way. So I'm picking up 5. I'm picking up that gold bead. And then I want to make these different lengths. So I picked up 3 black beads in my first little bit of fringe here. I'm going to pick up, I don't even know how many I picked up because I just want it to be random. And I'm going to lay it down here and just visually check and see, yes, I like where that's hanging. Let me pick up, I don't know if I like what you gave me.
Use it.
Actually, no.
Use it anyway. I got fun stuff there. Use the blue bead at the bottom.
Yeah, no. Here, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this dagger. Here, I'll just put a dagger on.
You know better what was in this box than me. I only looked at it for a couple
Yeah,
seconds.
but the mix had some really cool, I mean, these are cool, but.
All right, well, I didn't
So
dump the
for a
whole thing out.
dagger.
Go ahead. Just I'm not dumping it out.
Drama.
Yeah.
We were talking about drama earlier. I don't like the beads you picked.
Okay. Do
I'm
it
not
anyway.
working with you anymore.
I'm gonna just come over here and write my pattern. There you go. T T T T T.
Here's my all green bracelet, but I have to put G in every one.
One G.
With a dagger, because you've got that space on the side here between the top of the bead and the hole, you're actually going to make like a little bail for it almost, like a little triangular little bead shape here. So if I pick up 3 more beads on the other side here, I'm doing something similar to what I did here when I brought it back together and then I split it apart. So I've got 3 beads on, and then I'm going to skip 3 beads on the other side, the first 3 beads closest to my dagger, and go through the rest of them until I go back through that gold bead, which was my visual cue to stop.
See, I like that you're showing this because I always think just go back up to the top. I don't think to branch them back out in the 2, and I do. I like that thick look that you're getting. So
I like the thick look too.
I like the thick. Well, I like that separation of the.
Yeah.
Normally, I just run my fringe the whole way back up to a thinner area, but I like that.
I think about tapestries and clothing, like fringe on, I don't know, is it a cabana or a, I just think about the way fringes are organized, and yeah, I don't know.
It's pretty.
Yeah. Look up tapestries, look up like go to like a Joanne Fabrics or something and look up ribbons and trims and things. You get all kinds of different ideas.
That's actually a great idea to go to the trim section and just get ideas.
You can also, so I did it this way just to kind of make it thicker, but look what happens. I'm going to do this a little fast just so that you're not waiting for a long time for me to do this. Look what happens when we don't go right next to each other, when we do something a little bit different. 1, 2, 3.
What are you going to do? What are you going to do?
Everyone's waiting.
Everyone's waiting for you.
Everyone's waiting. Okay. I hope this works the way I wanted to, because I'm doing it fast. I'm not really counting. But instead of going right next to this one right next to it, skip one over and then go back and overlap. So I'm not going through the next bead like I did in the first 2. I'm skipping, going over the next. So that spaces it out. So you can also do it just like that. Or what I want to do is then just kind of follow my thread path back and go through. Of course, I'm
trying to sew the opposite direction.
Trying to sew, and I'm being kind of clumsy because it's.
So this is with the pattern why we did it in the order of the order you're putting on the beads, because we flip the project constantly, and it's hard when you record not to flip the project because you don't want to confuse people, especially on something that's patterned. But it's so much easier to sew one direction. If you're right-handed, it's usually going right to left. If you're left-handed, you're usually going left to right because it's a natural way and progression to hold your needle.
Right.
So when you're doing it on live, you don't want to mess people up, but it's like, I'm fighting every urge in that pattern to flip it to the opposite way.
I'm pretty sure I just flip it. So now there may be a lot of people that are frustrated with my video.
No. I think that as long as you say, and here I'm flipping it because of this, it gets much, much easier to work with.
Yeah. How the project is oriented is like, you're constantly changing it. Okay.
I also like the moon phase earrings. There's some pearls in there and some other beads that you could actually use and sew and embellish the top of the peyote stitch.
So what I did.
Thread. Where's this piece of thread? Oh, that's yours. I'm going to embellish the top of this one from afar.
Okay. So here we go. So what I'm trying to do, hopefully successfully, is just overlapping the fringe. And it'll look better, of course, it'll make more of an impact when you have more fringe. But I'm overlapping, so I'm skipping one. I went through the one bead, went down, did my fringe, skipped the next bead that I normally would go through, and went through the second one. Then I backtracked to the bead that I skipped over, did my fringe, and then again went 2 beads down. So you see what I'm doing there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty
Like,
overlapping.
I can't check with that. Like, do you
Yeah,
see what I'm
I see what
doing
you're
here?
doing. Yeah.
Okay.
Overlapping.
So you're overlapping, which is really fun. And then you're gonna share this bead when you backtrack. You're gonna share that bead again. So you're gonna go through that. So you're gonna be going through that twice. So I hope that wasn't too complicated.
Yeah.
I feel like that would have.
And
But,
I'm just showing
but yeah, just lots
too.
of ideas for how to do fringe. You can also kind of start on the edges, go down, make a triangle, come back, and go through the next 2. Like you can do all kinds of things. And what I would suggest is even with your grid paper, kind of draw out a fringe that way. And
Yeah.
then you'll see that you'll be able to follow your thread path that way too.
Yeah. Draw your grid out, and on the bottom, draw out exactly where you're hanging your fringe.
Yeah, well, yeah, and use the beads too. Like you can draw out, like let's say, I'm gonna just pretend like this is the end of my project, and I'm gonna say, oh, I want to do this many of this color, and then I'll, add a little bead at the end, and then I want to come back up, I want to branch off. So it just gives you an idea of how to follow those beads too.
And then if you are doing a bracelet versus a bookmark, what you can do is actually add on top of it. So I'm doing this just really quickly and kind of cheating, but I'll show you how.
Mine wasn't.
So here I'm taking those beads from the treasure box, adding them to the kit, and making a 3-dimensional bracelet where I'm sewing through the peyote. This is how we were saying you can add the button whenever you want to. And I'm just hopping along the back. You can see my thread lines just to show you. But usually you will weave in between. I'm hopping just so I can show you kind of what the look will be and the effect will be as you get further into the design.
I love that idea.
But you go in and you just add those extra little beads on top, and then you get that 3-dimensional look to it. You say, oh yeah, I want me to put a big bead on here next. Sure. Come down between the next section of peyote, or let's come on an angle here.
Yeah,
So,
I love that look.
Lots of different ways that you can use that peyote stitch once you learn the pattern.
These look like little planets and stars too. So
Thanks. That's what I was going for.
Yes, it embellishes it and it just adds the right kind of accent. I love that.
Yeah, and you can, again, big beads, small beads, sewing in and out. Along the back, instead of sewing like I'm doing where I'm jumping from one to the other, sew through the peyote stitch, and then you have that kind of 3-dimensional look to it.
I just got an idea for an adult coloring book.
Huh.
Big beads, small beads.
Any bead. Nathan has wanted to make a peyote book like this, where you color and where there's designs and we have patterns already done.
Yeah.
And then you color in your pattern,
Yes,
whatever
coloring
design.
book that's what we
adults.
should do.
And then if you want to do what Anna was saying, mine looks like it has a tail now. It's like a kite, where you put your button on it. You're coming out the same, where you're coming out between the piece here. I made myself too tight of an area with that button there. But same thing, you're just going right over top, sewing it back down through the piece. Not going around another bead that you put too close. But here is how you're attaching your button. That's all it is sewing it on. Now, whenever you're doing your clasp, make sure that you have a bunch of thread going through. I usually like to do at least 3 passes. But if I take this, and I'm going to steal Anna's a little bit, I add this to the other side here. If this was magically a bracelet, right here on the opposite side, I would start my loop. And then when we put the bracelet on, the loop going around matches almost identically to the start of the bracelet, so you never lose that pattern.
Yep, I like that. It comes full circle. Yeah.
Yeah, full circle.
Yeah.
So you can embellish on top, make it 3-dimensional. You can go in, and Anna's still going with her fringe at the bottom. She's going to do a reveal. Reveal.
So here I just stacked them up, and I did a simple back and through the next bead. I didn't do anything fancy, but I like bunching it up, and it gives it kind of a richer feel.
I even think this is cool when you do it for switch the fringe to the opposite direction. You know, somebody that's really into that galaxy look, do it down here as that choker hanging down, and you go in and kind of get that look with it.
Or just for a bracelet, come and just do a little picot trim, or add tiny little 2 or 3 millimeter beads on the side.
I think right there in the middle, if you put a little 2 millimeter, so if I'm in the middle of my star here, say I'm coming out the middle, this piece is going to be a happy threaded piece. When I go here in the middle, even if you don't want to use, or you didn't get the treasure box, take another one of those gold beads across the top
Mhm.
of your star, and then it almost makes it look like it's twinkling because you have that
Yeah.
three-dimensional bead
That's a
there
good
on
idea.
top of the star too. So,
Good idea there.
yep, so all of these pieces, so in this month's kit subscription, we have two different subscriptions. We have a kit subscription and then we have a treasure subscription. This month's kit subscription includes how to do a wire working necklace featuring a new Athena cast pendant here. It features embroidery, so you're learning how to do Anna's beautiful. I want to take these and wear these right now. Moon phase
And they're
earrings.
very lightweight, which
They are
I
super
love.
lightweight.
Yeah.
Like
'Cause I
put on a
like
backer.
bigger earring. Like if I'm wearing earrings, which I haven't a whole lot recently, but I like bigger statement things.
Yep. And then it also has the bookmark as well. Then there's the other subscription that we're pulling things from as well, which is called the Treasure Box. So if you go into our website and you go to subscribe, I've got this way big here from that pattern. This is our subscribe box, and there's two different types of box. There's the Best Bead Box, your Treasure Box or your Kit Edition. So you can see the different options that you have, kit or treasure. The kit comes with 3 kits. The treasure box is a grouping of materials that we usually do live each time. And you can see some past boxes. This is going to be this month's box that we revealed. So this is your treasure box and this is your kit box. All the materials to make those designs there are included. And you have the monthly costs for those that you can sign up. You can see what other community members have made as well, and some of the past box examples. We try to do different techniques in the boxes or make you master one or the other. So you have the opportunity to learn a lot different things. And we try to vary it too. So if you got a necklace and a
we do
set
lots
of earrings.
I thought you were saying that they always have the same technique. Like
No. We try to vary the techniques.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
We do anything that we know how to do, we'll put in the box.
Yeah. We try to kind of get them used so that way you can learn those new techniques, because this that Anna's doing right now is completely different from having a set of pliers and making a wine necklace and learning how to do that and having that chain and having the option to flip it and have it single in the front or the back. The next thing is, you know, doing that bead embroidery, which may be super intimidating at first, and you may only get done one. And then you come back to it and you're like, this is so cool. And maybe I'll make another and I'll stick it on top of my bookmark. Like so many ideas that you can do and add together and put these things together. The options really are endless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So fun. So cool with the fringe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So the fun thing, somebody wanted to know about the boxes. So this month, in case you have noticed or heard anything, container ships, the Red Sea is currently closed and container ships are having to go around the Cape, the African Cape. It's taking an extra amount of time to come through, and our subscription or our
I thought we were just gonna say like, oh, it's a special surprise.
No, but this is just in case they don't get it through customs, because everything's backed up basically. I did a bunch of research and I was like, why is this taking so long? So a bunch of container ships were pirated basically in the Red Sea. They're not going that way and they're coming the opposite way. But we've had a lot of people that have had tin envy. So we've taken the tins and we decided to change it up this month and give you 3 of the tins instead of the box, because you probably already have so many boxes.
Yeah, and a lot of people like the tins. And I'm actually getting new tins.
Yeah.
So the tin shape and size that we have currently, we're going to be switching to a larger tin that fits the patterns better, so they don't have to be so folded. So
I'm excited.
Look for a sale on the old size tins,
because the new ones
got a whole bunch
in.
of them, and I got a whole bunch of new ones coming in that are better.
So you get all of that, and just to show
better
you,
for
I'm going to take off
patterns.
my Huggies so I can show you kind of the size of these. These are amazing, amazing earrings. I love these. These are like, I'm just going to put these on and wear these to the bus stop. There we go. Got to pick up the kids next.
And I love how lightweight they are. I think
super
that's what
lightweight.
People forget about embroidery. If you want a bigger earring, but you don't want to have like a lot of weight on your ears, which is a thing. Apparently, I'm usually just like, whatever, it's dragging down my ears. But yeah, people forget about that. Embroidery is a really nice option for that.
And then here is your necklace. that you can wear with your earrings. You can have your book that you're reading as you're wearing your designs, and or create
Your little fringe.
the little fringe and that wall art. It's really,
What
really
I would love to do with this is take the planet and add a bunch of little purple beads, like the planet
has craters.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the planet is like 3D and comes out.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
so much fun that you can do with peyote, with reading it, with following the pattern. If you have any questions, problems, issues, join me Tuesday on Facebook Live at 1 o'clock there.
A bunch
And we will help kind of work through those. As always, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you to Anna for amazing patterns and stuff. Thanks to Bella also for her first ever
her debut.
her bead pattern that she did.
Did we scare her away, or she?
No, she
like...
said she saw me making it, and she's like, "Oh, you actually use that?" I was like, "Yeah, it's fun. It's good. We actually used it." She thought I was just like giving her something to do. I don't know. So,
oh, well, she did a good job for.
Yeah, more to come.
Not
she said it was fun. She said it was fun, so she's going to do more, and we'll pop them up on the website.
Cool.
So, thank you guys so much, and we will see you on Tuesday. Maybe Anna will even do a little stop by. Just be aware, it is supposed to snow, and we're supposed to have winter weather here. So just keep an eye on Facebook, just in case. I can walk from here, but in case my kids are killing each other in their home. So anyway, bye everyone. Thanks.
Bye.